knock, knock for Knickerbocker. Father Knickerbocker, on behalf of New York's famous Knickerbocker beer, welcomes you to The Steve Allen Show. With Eydie Gorme, Steve Lawrence, Bobby Byrne in his orchestra, and here is the star of our show, Steve Allen.
Good evening. Welcome once again to the Steve Allen program. It's nice to have you here. Let's see what we have in the audience tonight. I have a note here that tells me we have in the audience the American Campus Queen. Have I been reliably informed? Where is she? Where she is? Whereabouts, Dale?
Right over here.
Over there?
Yeah.
Well, she's
Yeah,
hanging from a hook at this very moment, as a matter of fact. If you don't grab her, I think she's going to jump right on the piano. Hold her back. No, that's quite all right. I just saw you approaching, and I thought, you know, the cameramen would get very confused there if you kept it up. That's Miss Myra Dawn Hazel. Is that right?
Is she here?
Is she here? Just stand back, that's all. And we'll meet her a little bit later. And also, according to this note in the audience, we have the son of the late General George Patton, Major Patton. Is that correct?
Major Patton here.
No. Well, it's nice to read these notes anyway. Because it gets lonely here at this time of night. It's good to have something to read and a little pipe to smoke and that sort of thing. Now then, tonight's guest star is one of America's best-known humorists, the popular Simon & Schuster author, nightclub comedian, bon vivant, whatever that means, Mr. Roger Price. We'll introduce him a little bit later. And you'll remember a week or so ago we raised the question as to what the heck is the purpose of the middle pedal on the piano. Well, I found out. It's to separate the other two. I guess that takes care of everything of importance we have to get at. And now to just give you about 2.5 minutes during which time you can decide whether you want to stick with us or catch the movie, we'll do a little song here. Whatever happened to Jan Savin? Whatever happened to me? Sleepy time, gal, you're turning night into day. Sleepy time, gal, you danced the evening away. Before each silvery star fades out of sight, please give me one little kiss, then let us whisper good night. It's getting late and dear, the pillow's waiting. Sleepy time, gal, when all your dancing is through. Sleepy time, gal, I'll find a cottage for you. You'll learn to cook and to sew. Once more, you'll love it, I know. When you're staying home, playing home, 8 o'clock, sleepy time, gal. now we'll wander over to the home base and see what's going on there. Huh? I beat you. Oh, boy, it was worth coming over here. Mm-hmm. Hey, when did they put these up? You know? How long have these things been here? They're supposed to be there every night? Oh, really? Guess I've been away. What's behind there? Merry Christmas. You know, I was wondering about a little earlier. They have a, can we have a couple of the fellows take this away? Oh, all right, that's fine. It's a union problem involved, I will wager. Christmas comes but once a year. Now, what is on my mind, to be very frank with you, is I was wondering about these books. When you swing one around their hem, these are probably, yeah, they're real books, all right. Nobody ever reads these books. They were gotten by the prop department. I was just wondering what they were. Surgical diseases of the gallbladder, liver, pancreas, and their treatment. That's not a joke. That's the name of the book. I'll show you. Oh. You'll learn to cook and to sew. Once more, you'll hate it. La da da dee da da. Yeah, pathology of the gallbladder, liver, and pancreas. Physiology of the liver and pancreas. Uh-huh. Interesting. Wonder where they get these books. Let's see what else is here. Betty Lee, freshman. You Are What You Eat. By Chaz Chase. There's a lot of wonderful books here. After 1903, what? Here's one. Roll on, you Panama Canal. How about that? Tom Swift and his electric armpit. That amazing? I'm sorry I went over there. I was just curious, and you probably were, too. Now then. Mr. Byrne, if you please, and make it really exciting. That's fine, and just right to remind the folks once again about the most exciting point I've ever made about Knickerbocker beer. Get this. Knickerbocker is 100% starch-free. I'll tell you exactly what I'm talking about if you move in close. If I got a pencil. Yeah, here's one right here. Right over in here, we have malt, grain, and hops with the bloom of youth. The finest money can buy, and equal to the exact amount that goes into the brewing of a 12-ounce bottle or can of Knickerbocker. Now, contained in these ingredients at the start of the brewing process is this. You know what this is? If you've been watching, you know. It's starch, and lots of it. It's about the same amount of starch you'd find in a big slab of apple pie. But, and this is strictly no kidding, look at this. This is empty. You know why? Because that is the amount of starch left in a bottle of Knickerbocker when you open it. None. Starch is all brewed out. It's gone, every bit of it. Knickerbocker beer is 100% starch-free. Knickerbocker is less filling, far less filling than beers of the past. You can enjoy it all evening long without ever getting that filled-up feeling. And best of all, while all the starch is removed, all of the superb flavor, the wonderful traditional character, and the pleasure remain. Man, that's really beer. So enjoy it in your homes tonight. If you have any on hand, enjoy it often. And a little suggestion for the weekend for big holiday parties, get the big economical quart. Remember, it's extra light, frosty, dry Knickerbocker. 100% starch-free, less filling, more delicious.
Folks, always be sure to look for me, Father Knickerbocker, on the label and on the tap of New York's famous Knickerbocker beer.
Thank you, Father Knickerbocker. I have a note just been handed me about the midnight movie. Tonight, there's another British import on the midnight movie. It's the thriller called Home to Danger, about a young girl who inherits both money and trouble. So stick around if you don't have to get up early in the morning. Stick around for the midnight movie. Home to Danger. That's what it is. Let's see. I have a note here from Charles E. Anderson at Anderson's Drugstore in Brewster, New York, 3638 Main Street. Sends an interesting letter, and on the back of it says, P.S. Who is the fellow that sits in the last seat up in the gallery with earphones on? Nobody knows. That's John Schaefer's ghost. No, actually, it varies from night to night. There are various fellas who work in the technical crew here. Who's on tonight? Does anybody know? I can't see up there. Mac? Mac is on tonight? Oh, boy, it's National Square Week. I'm always screaming, hello, Mac, and they're throwing my own line at me. Morty who? Morty Eaton? Stop eating, Morty. No wonder I can't hear you. Scared you to death. Now, Morty handles what we call the PA, which is simply the public address system. He makes sure that not only you folks at home can hear me, but the people in the studio can, who sometimes, I fear, outnumber you. Now then, that answers the question, and we'll show you Morty's picture when we get up there. In fact, we'll show you Morty. Morty's probably up there in the dark signing autographs right now. Let's see what I got scheduled here. Some musical entertainment, something real fine, too. It's a wonderful old song I think Frank Sinatra first made a hit out of it about 10 years or so ago. It's called All or Nothing at All. And we have a very dejected Steve Lawrence sitting at the little bar around the corner right now ready to do it for you. Here's Steve with All or Nothing at All.
Don't smile or I'll be lost beyond recall. The kiss in your eyes, the touch of your hand makes me weak. And my heart may grow dizzy and fall. And if I fell under the spell of your touch, I'd be caught in the undertow. So you see, I've got to say no, no.
Steve Lawrence, Bert Lancaster of the Brill Building. Incidentally, Bill, you and him deserve a nice vote of thanks or something there for the production. Doesn't that look classy? Real nice production. Now then, it's guest time here in the old Kraft Music Hall. And I'd like to introduce a fellow I already told you about. I mentioned that his name is Roger Price, so it will come as no surprise to you if I repeat it. He's an old friend of mine, and we're not going to do any comedy routines here tonight, but he's an interesting man, and I thought you might like to see a humorist face-to-face, find out what time he gets up and how his books sell and that kind of stuff. So we'll just sit down next to each other and see what happens. Let's give him a nice welcome like they do on television programs. Here's Roger Price. For those of you who are saying, Roger Price, I'll just point out, among other things, that Roger has a couple of very heavy-selling books on the market. One that is now in what printing, Roger?
It's fifth printing now, Steve.
Fifth? Mm-hmm. It's called In One Head and Out the Other. This is the paper-bound edition, published by Simon & Schuster, and you can get it in any of several editions in several forms at your neighborhood bookstore. Sometimes people who know that I'm interested in laughter, both personally and professionally, say, what do you read? What's funny these days, you know? Well, this is a very funny book. If you want to read a funny book, and I guarantee this will make you laugh out loud very often, read this book, In One Head and Out the Other. Roger, what's occupying most of your time, your thinking time lately? What new projects are you interested in?
Well, I'm still trying to help people, you know, because we live in such an age of tension today. And I'm working on several things so people can relax. One thing, I got an 88-day piano course that anyone can do, and maybe you might be interested.
88-day piano course?
Yeah, it's based on a pretty scientific principle. The first day you start down at the left-hand side of the piano, you know, yeah. And you take the note, and you play it all day, and in many different ways you can. Next day, next note. Next day, the next note. And you go up to a black one. The next day, after 88 days, you learn how to play all the notes. I also got a 3-day method for playing the trumpet. And a 14-day method for playing the clarinet. It's a clarinet player, I guess.
He's the one.
But I've been sitting at home, too, and I've been thinking up slogans to help people. Like I got a wonderful new slogan for drivers over the new year, you know. The slogan is, drive recklessly. The person you run over can't possibly be you.
I was beginning to get pretty tired of drive carefully. The life you save may not be worth it, you know. I've been overdoing that one for quite some time now. Roger, I understand you're also interested in philosophy besides the...
That's true. About a year and a half ago, I started the avoidist movement. Remember, we talked about it on your radio show once out in the coast. And
the avoidist?
Avoidist movement. That's just for people that want to avoid things. There's so many things that you can avoid today, and you can lead a better, happier life. You know, you can start in avoiding little things, and pretty soon... You know, you become, some people say that avoidists are nothing but slobs. This is true. Actually. But you got to start in to become an avoidist. You start avoiding little things, like you avoid cutting the lawn, and you avoid reading about Terry Moore's bathing suit, and Now we don't have to read any more about Babs and periphery, and
Diarrhea.
Zaza. I was very excited. What kind of shaving lotion do you suppose he uses? I was very interested, though, the way it was going with Babs, and I couldn't understand it. Back in West Virginia, where I come from, in the whole county, Roane County, there's not one person named Babs or Perforo or Zaza.
Yeah?
Not one. Well, that's the way it goes. But,
Tell us a little more about avoidism, Roger. Basically, what is it?
Well, you got to start. Thank you. There's Russell Birdwell. You got to start avoiding all the things, and you become a happy, non-functional bum. Because people have been led down the wrong channels today. Like people have been held up as ideals that have the vices of energy and ambition and determination. People like Thomas Edison. And Lucky Luciano, people like that. Mm-hmm. People neglect to follow the hard but worthwhile road to sloth and inertia. Mm-hmm. So you sit around, you can avoid, money. This is very tough. A lot of people don't understand at first because they've been conditioned.
Yeah.
But a lot of things you can do without having a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Starve to death, drown, catch pneumonia.
That's right, old pneumonia.
But for instance, people don't stop to think about our history. Like about 57 years ago, last week it was actually, there were two brothers who ran a small bicycle repair shop back in a small town in Ohio, the state. Mm-hmm. And one day one of the brothers was looking out the window, and he called, it's Wilbur. Mm-hmm. And he called to his other brother, and he says, Orville, looky there at them birds. And he saw the birds soaring effortlessly and gracefully through the air. Mm-hmm. And Orville came over, and he says, yes, sir, looky there. And he looked at the birds, and a speculative gleam came in Orville's eye there, the beginnings of a dream. And 7 years later, those two brothers, Orville and Wilbur Hammerslip, were bankrupt. They wasted no time trying to invent the airplane, and if the Wright brothers had done the same thing, we'd be a lot better off today.
That's right.
And so I think if people start avoiding stuff like that, we'll have a little peace and quiet for a change,
Sure, any minute, as a matter of fact. What are you doing with your philosophy? What practical application are you making of it, Roger, in your own life?
Well, I got an avoidance alarm clock I'm going to put on the market and sell. That's what people hate to get up. When it goes off, it vibrates a piece of liver between two sponges. And there's a certain way you can do these things. You can learn. If you want to become an avoidist, you can start out and practice the basic positions of how to avoid things correctly. Like how to avoid reading, studying posts.
Sort of like yoga positions?
Yeah,
Could you demonstrate a position or two?
Give us a little room?
Sure. You want to pull back just a little hem with the cameras? What would you like?
This is actually what they call the basic position. This is for beginners. This is very suitable for not answering the telephone. Whoop.
I see.
Now, as I say, so you start out like this, and you keep practicing like this, and pretty soon you'll be ready for the advanced position, which is like this.
What practical purpose does that serve, Roger, except to clean our floor?
Well, you lay there like that for a while, and you can get together with your friends in a local avoidatorium. Pretty dirty studio. And you form a political inaction committee, and you lay around like that, and pretty soon you get a great lack of will. You get a loose upper lip, your chin gets down, and pretty soon you're all ready to become an avoidist, and you get the membership button, a chrome-plated phenobarbital pill.
That's what I call a ball on the jack, all right. Are there any other positions you'd like to assume?
I don't think so right now, Steve. This is a...
Well, then we can sit down again and start all over.
It was sort of fun.
I thought it was, but I was mistaken. Roger has a new interest these days. He's put out another book for Simon & Schuster called Droodles. Naturally, I'm going to say now, what are droodles?
Well, actually, these are droodles. There's another way we spell it, D-R-U-D-L-E-S. That's rude droodles. We can't do that. Actually, I'll be back.
Sure.
Droodles are little drawings that when somebody asks you what they are, and then you tell them they're sorry. The ad.
I see. In other words, it's better to exhibit than define, is that it?
And actually, there's a sort of a classic one that maybe people know. If like if you're around at somebody's house and you go up to the hostess and get an ink and draw this on her back, like at a party, and you ask people what it is, and they don't know, and you say, it's a bear climbing up the other side of a tree.
I get the idea.
And
do another one.
All right. This is a very tricky one here. Let's see. Oh, we'll do one like this. This is a good riddle here. See? And you got to think on this one. That's called Ship Arriving Too Late to Save Drowning Witch.
Can I borrow
Makes
your
you stop
Crayola?
and think.
Can I borrow your Crayola? I got an idea. That's all right. I'll make a thing here of my own. You can sing or something while I do this.
If things look gray and things go wrong and you're upset, don't do nothing. You avoid this song.
The avoidest song I ever heard of. You know what that is? It's a long-playing record. No, it's an unbreakable record, as a matter. All righty.
Well, what are you going to do?
I don't know. Do another one. You got another blank hunk of paper there.
This is a sort of a one here. That's called Timid Turtle.
That's cute.
That's a new one I just made up out of my own head.
Sure, and you got enough left over to make a cedar chest up there. Oh, that's wonderful, Roger. I'll tell you what you do. You get down to your bookstore in the morning and tell them Freddie Robbins sent you in and ask for a copy of Droodles. And there's just thousands of these little things there. So actually, this could start a craze, couldn't it, Roger?
Yeah, it sold about 30,000 the first week, and she's going like wildfire. Is that good?
Sure, about out of breath or anything like that.
People should make up some new things like that, selling like hotcakes.
Yeah. You know, it's something I've often wondered about, come to think of it. Why people say when he came back from Florida, he was brown as a berry. I've never seen a brown berry, have you?
No. He's brown as... I get trapped sometimes. He's brown as a mongoose is a good word to throw in anytime.
I'd never looked at it in just that way. But I begin to see what you mean. Another thing that always confused me is when people say it's sweet as a nut. There are no sweet nuts that I've ever come into contact with.
Who say that?
The brown berries. I don't know. Haven't you ever... Isn't that... Maybe it's just in my own family. People just say, it's sweet as a nut. Come to think of it, it does sound pretty weird.
Yeah, no, we never said that back home.
Yeah. Well, on this avoidus note... Roger?
You let down a rope.
Is there any message you'd like to leave us with?
Well, perhaps just for the avoidus slogan for the people, the good workers that are out there not doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'd like to have them remember the slogan, which is, remember, no matter what happens, don't...
Thank you very much, Roger Price. Seriously, you get a million laughs out of Roger's two great books. They're in bookstores all over the country and doing real well. Now a word from our good friend, Father Knickerbocker. Here he is.
Most of you good people are well acquainted with New York's many fine museums. Yet, I wonder if you know the museum I'm thinking about tonight. It's in Brooklyn, at Brooklyn Avenue and Park Place, to be exact. The current featured attraction is an exhibit of 36 dolls. These dolls depict vividly and with painstaking exactness the coronation of England's Queen Elizabeth II. Now, this is just one of the interesting things to be found there, as one can see flying squirrels, snakes, turtles, mice, and a monkette. Now, the museum believes that its visitors will enjoy the exhibits more if they're allowed to participate, and therefore they allow them to touch some of these things. The feel of a jackrabbit's ear, the feathers of a turtle dove, even the fur of a skunk, which I particularly wouldn't care for myself. Now, these are the things to be seen in the only museum in New York which is dedicated exclusively to children. And therein lies its name, the Children's Museum. Now, all the exhibits are arranged in such a manner as to permit the children to view them easily. Perhaps your children would be interested in joining one of the museum's clubs. They have a writing club for children over 10, a wonderful club for handicapped children, cardiac cases, and those on crutches or in wheelchairs. Well, we thank Mrs. Elaine Constant, 162-04 65th Avenue, Flushing, New York, for the question, is there a special museum for children in New York? And to her and her lovely 2 children, the brewers of Knickerbocker Beer are sending a $50 United States savings bond, and to her favorite charity, the American Red Cross, a check for $50. Now remember to send your questions to me, Father Knickerbocker, Box 419, WNBT, New York 20, New York. And remember to state the name and address of your favorite charity. All right, Steve.
All right, Father Knickerbocker. Boy, that really rings out, doesn't it? Hey, where's the campus queen, Dale? Can we get her over here? It occurs to me that we have not as yet exhibited her publicly. Hi. There we are. Hello. I'll jump in here. What campus are you the queen of, or what kind of a campus queen are you?
I'm the American campus queen.
Oh.
I mean, everybody, all the colleges.
Oh, I see. Who were those girls who were here last night?
Well, I don't know anything about them.
Oh, really? Where are you from?
I'm from the University of Arkansas.
Arkansas.
That's right.
I'll be darned. What's your home state, Roger?
West Virginia.
Oh, West Virginia. Well, as long as you're healthy. What's your full name again?
Myra Dawn Hazel,
And where did you compete against the other young ladies, Myra?
at the Waldorf Astoria here in New York.
Uh-huh. How many young ladies were you competing against to win this honor?
22.
I'll be darned.
They came from universities all over the country.
Mm-hmm. What are you studying at school?
I hope to be a legal stenographer.
Oh, yeah? Well, you're going to be a very pretty one. Did I see your picture in the paper the other day with glasses? Oh, you've got them with you. Yeah, there was a girl here last night. I thought I had seen her picture. Just goes to show you. Why don't you move in for a nice big close-up of that face? You want to do that, Hem, just for a moment? You can get off mine. Just sneak right in there with glasses. Now you want to take your glasses off? Without glasses? This woman is wanted for forgery. Now, profile. Oh, hey. I don't know what you're laughing at. Even I didn't know what that meant. However, it's nice that you're here. Myra Dawn, I wish you lots of good luck.
Thank you very much.
In fact, I think we might as well dedicate a little song to you right now. There's no connection between our dedication and the title, because the title is a rather mysterious one. But Eydie's about to sing it, and you and I can sit here and have some Knickerbocker beer and enjoy it. Here's Eydie Gorme to sing Gimme, Gimme, John.
Gimme, gimme, John. Oh, gimme, gimme, John. Ah, gimme, gimme, John. Don't alibi me. Gimme, gimme, John. Ah, gimme, gimme, John. Oh, gimme, gimme, John. Don't alibi me. Gimme, gimme, John. Gimme, gimme, John. Top as a stated. A gentleman is station as people ain't waiting. Gimme, 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 John. Ah, gimme, gimme, John. Oh, gimme, gimme, John. Or I'll explode. God said if I was good, I did exactly as I should. You give me one more kiss before we hit the road. And I've been good, John. So good and true. So gimme, 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 and I'll give it right back to you. Gimme, gimme, John. Oh, gimme, gimme, John. Ah, gimme, gimme, John. You can't deny me. Gimme, gimme, John. Oh, gimme, gimme, John. Oh, gimme, gimme, John. Don't alibi me. Gimme, gimme, John. Gimme, gimme, John. Top is a stated. A gentleman is station as people ain't waiting. Quickly, gimme, John. Ah, gimme, gimme, John. Oh, gimme, gimme, John. Or I'll explode. God said if I was good, I did exactly as I should. Give me one more kiss before we hit the road. And I've been good, John. So good and true. So gimme, 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 and I'll give it right back to you. Gimme, 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 and I'll give it right back to you. Gimme, 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 and I'll give it right back to you.
That's cute, Eydie. That's Eydie Gorme's current best-selling record, incidentally. Gimme John, on the Coral label. Here's a young lady. Did you just take your glasses off? The girl downstairs just put hers on. What's your name?
Ellen Schwartz.
What do you do, Ellen?
I go to school.
What are you studying?
Everything.
The young lady on your right got hysterical because you said you were going to school. Who is she?
Jessica Walker.
Well, one of you is a ventriloquist, I see. What do you do, Jessica?
Well, I go to school, too.
What are you studying?
Work.
I'll start all over again. I'd like you to meet Jessica Walters. What do you want to be when you get out of school?
Actress.
Yeah? Who's your favorite actress?
Leslie Caron.
He's very good. That's right. Who's the young lady on your right?
I don't know her.
She looks like a bad actor to me, watch her. No, I'm just kidding. Who are you, by the way, in case your husband is watching or something?
Jackie Scott.
What do you do, Jackie?
I'm a dance teacher.
Yeah? Where do you teach?
Fake, New Jersey.
You have your own studio?
Yes, I do.
We may strike oil any minute. What's the name of it?
Well, it's under my name.
I can't see under there. You call it the Jackie's Joint, is it, or what? Jackie's Dance Studio?
That's right. In Fake, right over Woolworth's.
10 cents a dance. That's a nice arrangement. And who's the lady on your right?
My mother.
Oops, I'm sorry. I've just broken this girl's whole skull. Wow, at the back of the elbow. Would you like some beer? Oh, you're too young. I forgot. Well, I'll say a few words anyway for a moment or two. You know, tomorrow a good many of you folks will probably be dropping into a tavern or restaurant with friends for a glass or two of beer to toast the new year. When you do, be sure to do this. If you can find a microphone. If not, use the bar. Knock for Knickerbocker beer because you're getting, in Knickerbocker, the beer that's 100% starch-free. And believe me, that is today's biggest and best beer news. There is absolutely no starch in Knickerbocker. None. Not one speck. Knickerbocker's less filling. Far less filling than beers of the past. It's the modern, low-calorie beer that you can enjoy glass after glass without ever getting that filled-up feeling. You see, in the world's finest ingredients, malt, grain, and hops, that go into the making of, say, a 12-ounce bottle of Knickerbocker, there's as much starch as you'd find in a large slab of pie. And while Knickerbocker removes all the starch, at the same time, it keeps in all the things that make Knickerbocker the best-tasting beer you can buy. Man, that's beer. It really is. Knickerbocker beer, the great achievement in modern brewing. So enjoy Knickerbocker today. Enjoy it often. 100% starch-free, less filling, more delicious. Don't go away. I'll finish that in just a minute. Now, let's see what other trouble we can get into down here. La-da-da-doo. What's your name?
Mrs. Reichner.
Hmm?
Reichner.
Reichner?
Yes.
What do you do, Mrs. Reichner?
I'm the housewife.
Oh, really? Well, they're playing our song. This girl is going to kill herself. All right, wave to your husband. Here, you'll find her right over here in front of my head. What's your name?
Rusty.
Well, you can dry off after the show. Now then, Eydie and your Ann Fogarty Bird, and here he is, Burt Lancaster. It's time to get off the air because there's a program coming through, and we're going to get hit right in the head if we don't get out of here. But it's been nice having you with us. You folks are a wonderful audience. Give yourselves a big hand. Have a good night's sleep. We'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Night.
Good night. See you tomorrow night. And folks, always be sure to look for me, Father Knickerbocker, on the label and on the tap of New York's famous Knickerbocker beer.